lose more by holding on than by letting go. And deep down, you already know it. Everything you desperately chase runs further away, but everything meant for you arrives the moment you stop gripping so tight. We live in a world obsessed with control. Control of outcomes, people, timing, validation. And the more you try to force life into your hands, the more life slips through your fingers. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that effort means pressure, attachment, and fear of losing. But Stoic philosophy reveals a quieter truth. Real power begins when you release your need to force what isn't yours to control. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing peace over panic, clarity over chaos, and trust over desperation. It means you stop chasing, stop begging, and stop fighting battles that drain your spirit. Today, we'll explore 7 Stoic truths showing why life finally moves in your favor the moment you loosen your grip. Stay with me. This might be the reminder your heart has been waiting for. Truth 1. You cannot receive while your hands are full. You can't welcome what's new if you're still clinging to what's old, and nothing enters a life that's already crowded with fear, attachment, and emotional clutter. Most people don't realize this, but the things that weigh them down are often the things they refuse to release. You hold tight to people who've already walked away. You grip expectations that keep disappointing you. You cling to timelines, plans, and identities that no longer match who you're becoming. And every time you refuse to let go, you silently close the door on what life is trying to offer you. Sometimes the universe isn't denying you. Your own tight grip is. Detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. When your hands are full, your mind becomes full too, full of noise, fear, and emotional residue. You can't think clearly. You can't see opportunities. You can't recognize blessings. Your inner world becomes so crowded that even when something good tries to enter, it has nowhere to land. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. The mind must be free, open, and light enough to respond to life with wisdom, not desperation. When you're gripping something that hurts, your hands bleed instead of grow. Every time you refuse to release something that has already expired, you pay for it with your peace. You carry emotional weight that isn't yours anymore. You overthink, replay, and reanalyze scenarios that ended months or years ago. And slowly, without realizing it, your life shrinks to the size of your attachments. You stop expanding, stop evolving, stop receiving. You mistake holding on for loyalty, when in truth it's fear in disguise. Nothing new can enter a heart imprisoned by the past. Letting go creates psychological space. Space for self-respect, for healing, for a more honest version of you to emerge. When you empty your hands, you finally become available. That availability is powerful. Suddenly you can hear your intuition again. You notice chances you used to miss. The right people recognize you because you're not buried under the wrong ones. Life starts moving in your direction because you've stopped blocking the path with what should have been released long ago. What you release says more about your strength than what you hold. Think about the times you outgrew places, relationships, or habits. The moment you stopped clinging, your life opened. You became lighter, steadier, more grounded. You learned that losing what was not meant for you is not a loss. It's alignment, and alignment is what invites blessings you once thought were impossible. Let today be the moment you unclench your hands. Let today be the moment you decide that your future deserves space to breathe. Because everything you want, peace, clarity, purpose, love, needs room to enter. And that room is created the second you choose to let go. Truth 2. Letting go creates inner space. Your mind cannot bring you peace if it has no space to breathe, and nothing suffocates the soul faster than holding on to what you should have released long ago. We don't just clutter our lives with objects, We clutter our minds with stories, wounds, expectations, and outdated identities. Most people wake up every morning carrying yesterday's weight on their back. They replay conversations, they hold grudges, they cling to roles they've outgrown. And the tragedy is this: they expect clarity while living inside a mental storm. Without inner space, there is no wisdom, only noise. Silence cannot enter a mind overflowing with fear. Stoicism teaches that peace is not found by adding more to your life, but by subtracting what no longer serves your soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote about keeping the mind simple and orderly, because a chaotic inner world blinds you to the truth. When your mental space is crowded, you mistake anxiety for intuition, attachment for love, and noise for purpose. You lose the ability to discern what truly matters. When you clear space inside yourself, life finally becomes visible. Think about what happens when you clean a room. Suddenly, you can breathe easier, move freely, and see what you couldn't see before. The same thing happens on the inside. When you release emotional clutter, old guilt, forced connections, unrealistic expectations, you stop being reactive and start being present. You regain your ability to make decisions from clarity rather than pressure. Most people aren't stuck because life is complicated. They're stuck because their mind is crowded. A crowded mind leaves no room for new ideas, deeper relationships, or meaningful direction. You may crave peace, but if your inner space is filled with worry, resentment, or obsession, peace has nowhere to sit. You may want love, but if you're holding on to old heartbreak, new love cannot find you. You may want purpose, but if your mind is overloaded with distractions and emotional noise, purpose can't speak loud enough for you to hear it. Space is not emptiness. It is preparation. When you let go of people who drain you, space appears for those who uplift you. When you stop forcing outcomes, space appears for opportunities that align with your path. When you release old beliefs about who you should be, space appears for who you truly are. This is why the Stoics repeated the idea of internal simplicity. It makes room for higher awareness, stronger character, and deeper self-respect. Your next chapter begins the moment you clear the room for it. You cannot grow inside a cage built from your own attachments. You cannot transform while holding on to the past with both hands. And you cannot receive guidance, clarity, or peace until you become spacious enough to welcome them. The most powerful version of you, stillness, resilience, wisdom, only appears when the unnecessary is removed. Give yourself the gift of space. Not because life demands it, but because your soul deserves it. When you clear the inner room, life no longer feels heavy. You feel guided. You start recognizing what feels right instead of what feels familiar. Your heart softens, your mind sharpens, and your path becomes unmistakably clear. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is clearing the space where your destiny can finally land. Truth 3. Obsession blocks flow. The more you obsess, the more life resists you. Nothing you chase with desperation ever arrives with peace. Obsession feels like control, but it's actually fear wearing armor. It convinces you that if you think hard enough, worry long enough, or push intensely enough, life will bend to your will. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. The tighter you grip, the more you block the natural flow of opportunity, clarity, and alignment. When your mind is filled with fixation, you stop seeing what is actually happening. You only see what you're afraid of losing. You cannot force what isn't ready, and you cannot rush what isn't meant. Obsessing over a result traps you inside a future that hasn't arrived. You start living in imagined outcomes instead of real actions. You replay what you want. You overanalyze every detail. You cling to signs, timelines, and assumptions. But the truth is simple. Obsession steals your presence. And without presence, you lose your ability to respond wisely, calmly, and strategically to the life unfolding right in front of you. Stoic philosophy teaches that obsession is a symptom of misplaced control. Epictetus reminded us that our power lies only in our choices, not in external events. When you obsess, you abandon your inner authority and try to grab control of things that were never yours, other people's actions, timing, emotions, outcomes. This creates tension inside your spirit and confusion inside your mind. You start mistaking resistance for destiny and delay for rejection. You burn energy on what you cannot influence, leaving nothing for what you truly can. When you obsess, you narrow your vision so much that you miss the path opening right beside you. Think about the times you wanted something so badly that you couldn't think of anything else. Maybe it was a relationship, a job, a goal, or a specific future you felt certain was the one. In that tunnel vision, you stopped noticing the people who cared, the opportunities that appeared, and the guidance life tried to give you. Your world shrank to one possibility, ignoring the dozens of better ones forming quietly in the background. Obsession is not passion. Obsession is panic disguised as purpose. Passion is rooted in action. Obsession is rooted in fear. Passion moves you forward. Obsession locks you in place. Passion invites the flow of creativity, discipline, and courage. Obsession creates anxiety, overthinking, and self-doubt. And worst of all, obsession convinces you that you're being productive when all you're doing is mentally spinning in circles. The moment you release obsession, life begins to breathe again. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. It means you trust your effort without demanding a guarantee. It means you release timelines, forcing, and emotional pressure. Suddenly, your perspective widens, your intuition sharpens, your decisions become cleaner, and you start noticing paths that were invisible when your mind was clouded by fixation. What you want moves toward you the second you stop suffocating it. Flow begins where obsession ends. Progress begins where pressure dissolves, and alignment appears the moment you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. When you shift from obsessing to acting with clarity, from forcing to allowing, from gripping to trusting, life finally has room to move. Release the obsession. Reclaim the flow, and let what's meant for you find you without resistance. Truth 4. Letting go is not losing. It's choosing peace. Letting go is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength a human being can develop. Most people fear letting go because they confuse it with giving up. They believe that if they stop fighting, stop forcing, or stop holding on, they'll lose something important. Someone, a dream, an identity, a sense of stability. But Stoicism offers a deeper truth. What you release was never meant to define you. What you keep at the cost of your inner peace was never yours to begin with. Peace is not found in the things you cling to. It's found in the things you walk away from. Life becomes heavy when you make every situation a battlefield. You argue to be understood. You stay to be chosen. You fight to be valued. But every battle for validation drains your spirit a little more. When you care more about keeping something than keeping yourself, you've already lost the most important part of you, your dignity. Letting go is the moment you decide your peace is more valuable than being right, being chosen, or being in control. Stoicism teaches that surrender is not defeat. It is alignment with reality. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the wise person accepts what happens as if they chose it themselves. This doesn't mean you stop trying. It means you stop resisting. You stop pushing your desires against the natural rhythm of life. You stop expecting others to behave how you want. You stop forcing outcomes that clearly don't belong to you. When you release resistance, reality stops feeling like a fight because you're no longer fighting against it. You don't lose anything real by letting go. You lose the illusion that you needed it. Think about a time when you held on to something long after it stopped being good for you. A relationship that drained you, a friendship that dimmed your light, a plan that no longer fit who you were becoming. When you finally let go, you didn't collapse. You exhaled. Your body relaxed. Your mind opened. Your life softened. That relief was your soul telling you the truth. This weight was never meant to be carried. Nothing that truly belongs to you requires you to sacrifice your peace to keep it. What is right for you fits naturally. It doesn't require begging, forcing, or chasing. It doesn't demand that you shrink, break, or betray yourself. When something is aligned with your growth, it expands you, strengthens you, and brings calm, not chaos. What causes you constant turmoil is not meant to be. It's meant to be released. Letting go is an act of self-respect, not surrender. Choosing peace means choosing yourself. It means you understand the value of your energy, your attention, your inner stability. It means you stop apologizing for wanting a quiet life. It means you walk away from noise, drama, and emotional turbulence without looking back. That kind of strength is rare. That kind of clarity is power. Peace is the prize you gain when you finally stop holding on to what hurts. And the miracle is this. Once your hands are no longer gripping the wrong things, the right things finally have a place to land. Doors open, opportunities appear. People who match your calm begin to gravitate toward you. Life flows more freely, not because it changed, but because you did. Letting go is not losing, it is choosing peace, and peace is the greatest victory you'll ever claim. Truth 5. You don't need closure. From others, closure is not something people give you. Closure is something you create for yourself. Most people stay stuck because they're waiting for someone else to explain why things happened the way they did. They wait for an apology that never comes. They wait for clarity from someone who already moved on. They wait for answers from people who never respected them enough to give the truth in the first place. And while they wait, their life stalls. Their heart stays open to a story that ended long ago. You cannot move forward if you're still begging the past to speak. Stoic philosophy teaches that peace must come from within, not from the decisions or explanations of other people. Epictetus reminded us repeatedly, the only things in your control are your thoughts, judgments, and choices. When you rely on someone else to give you emotional closure, you hand them power over your future. You let them decide when you heal, how you heal, and whether you can heal at all. Some people didn't give you truth when they were in your life. Why would they give you truth after they leave? Closure becomes an illusion we chase because we hope that understanding the past will ease the pain. But in reality, explanations rarely heal. They often create new questions, new confusion, new wounds. What you actually want is not their explanation. What you want is relief. What you want is release. And that's something only you can give yourself. You don't need their permission to stop hurting. You don't need their words to move on. Think about the times you waited for someone to finish the conversation that they already walked away from. Maybe they disappeared without a goodbye. Maybe they shut down when you needed answers. Maybe they chose silence instead of honesty. Waiting for closure from someone like that is like waiting for a locked door to open by itself. Every day you wait, you reinforce the belief that your healing depends on them. But it doesn't. It never has. Closure is not a conversation. It's a decision. It's the moment you say, I accept what happened, I accept what didn't happen, and I accept that I may never know why. That acceptance sets you free. It shifts your focus from the person who hurt you to the person you are becoming. It returns your power, your worth, and your energy back to where it always belonged, within yourself. You heal the moment you stop searching for answers and start searching for peace. True closure comes from choosing to rewrite the meaning of what happened. Instead of asking, why did they do this to me? You ask, what did this teach me about my boundaries, my self-worth, my future? That shift is transformative. It turns pain into wisdom. It turns endings into beginnings. It turns loss into liberation. Not every story needs a final chapter to be complete. Sometimes silence is your answer. Sometimes distance is your closure. Sometimes the way they left tells you everything you need to know about who they were and who you no longer want to be. You don't need their explanation to grow. You don't need their apology to evolve. You don't need their clarity to reclaim your strength. Your healing begins the moment you choose yourself over the past. Your closure begins the moment you stop waiting for someone else to hand it to you. Truth 6. Holding on comes from fear. Letting go comes from strength. Clinging is born from fear. Letting go is born from power. Most people don't hold on because something is good for them. They hold on because they're terrified of what might happen if they release it. Fear of loneliness, fear of uncertainty, fear of not finding better, fear of starting over, fear of being wrong about someone or something they invested so much of themselves in. And fear, when left unchecked, becomes a prison disguised as loyalty or love. When fear drives your grip, pain becomes your normal. Stoicism teaches that courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting despite it. The Stoics understood that everything in life is temporary. People, circumstances, seasons, identities. When you cling tightly to what is slipping away, you're not protecting yourself. You're resisting the natural movement of life. And resistance always creates suffering. What you're afraid to release is often the very thing preventing your growth. The fear of letting go is almost always worse than the letting go itself. Think about moments when you finally released something you were scared to lose. A job, a relationship, a version of yourself. Before the release, you imagined devastation. After the release, you felt relief. You discovered you could breathe again. You realized the fear was an illusion, a mental monster built from attachment and overthinking. The truth is simple. Your mind exaggerates loss because it doesn't trust your capacity to rise after it. Holding on drains your strength. Letting go restores it. Fear-based attachment keeps you exhausted, anxious, and emotionally tangled. You constantly monitor, overthink, adjust, and compromise pieces of yourself just to hold something together. That is not strength, it's self-abandonment. Real strength is quiet. Real strength is calm. Real strength is the ability to stand on your own foundation without gripping anything for stability. When you choose to let go, you reclaim the energy you've been giving away to fear. Letting go is not walking away from something. It is walking back to yourself. Many people stay connected to situations that hurt them because the pain feels familiar. They confuse intensity with love, chaos with passion, and attachment with commitment. But letting go allows you to rediscover who you are without the noise. It gives you a chance to reconnect with your values, your boundaries, your desires, your self-respect. It's not an escape, it's a return. Fear whispers that you will lose everything. Strength whispers that you will find yourself. Stoicism invites us to accept impermanence rather than fight it. Anything that needs to be forced to stay is already misaligned. Anything that collapses when you stop holding it up was never stable to begin with. Letting go reveals the truth about the situation, about the people involved, and about your own resilience. You see clearly what was real and what was only wishful thinking. Strength is the ability to release what you once believed you needed. When you finally loosen your grip, something remarkable happens. Your emotional fog lifts. Possibilities appear. Peace settles in. Your nervous system relaxes. Life feels lighter. You rediscover clarity, intuition, and direction. You make decisions not from fear, but from wisdom. And suddenly, the future no longer feels threatening. It feels open. Letting go is an act of courage. Courage to trust yourself. Courage to trust the process. Courage to trust that life has something better waiting on the other side of fear. Hold on out of fear, and you'll stay stuck. Let go from strength, and you'll finally move. Truth 7. Life gives more to the unattached. The moment you stop forcing life, life starts moving in your favor. What you chase runs. What you allow flows. Most people live in a constant state of emotional gripping. Gripping outcomes, gripping people, gripping timelines, gripping identities that no longer fit. They believe that holding tightly ensures success, love, or stability. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Attachment creates tension, and tension blocks movement. When you cling, you shrink. When you loosen your grip, you expand. And only the expanded mind can receive what life is trying to give. What is meant for you arrives when you no longer depend on it to feel whole. When you're attached, everything becomes personal. A delay feels like rejection. A closed door feels like failure. A change in someone's behavior feels like abandonment. But these reactions come not from wisdom, they come from fear. Fear of losing, fear of not being enough, fear of the unknown. Attachment amplifies this fear until it becomes your identity, and when fear leads, life feels threatening instead of inviting. Unattachment isn't indifference, it's emotional freedom. Stoicism calls this inner state apatheia, not as a lack of emotion, but as mastery over it. It is the quiet confidence of someone who gives their best and releases the rest. Someone who shows up fully but refuses to drown in expectations. Someone who can care deeply without collapsing when things change. Unattachment means you recognize your worth independent of what stays or leaves. It means you know how to hold things gently, not desperately. Life responds differently to a person who is not controlled by need. When you're unattached, you stop radiating desperation. You stop giving off the energy of, I need this to work or I'll break. Instead, you move with a calm presence that draws opportunities toward you. People respect your emotional independence. Challenges feel lighter because you aren't tying your entire identity to the outcome. You become magnetic, not because you chase, but because you embody steadiness. When you detach from the outcome, you attach to the process. And that's where real power is. Think about the things that have worked out for you, the moments of clarity, the unexpected blessings, the opportunities that appeared when you weren't trying to force them. They came when you were present, open and aligned. Not when you were stressed, clinging, or trying to control every detail. Flow only exists in the absence of resistance. And resistance only exists when you're attached. The universe has a rhythm, and you can't hear it when you're gripping too tightly. Attachment makes you impatient. Unattachment makes you observant. Attachment makes you fearful. Unattachment makes you adaptable. Attachment blinds you. Unattachment awakens you. When you're no longer obsessed with a specific outcome, you begin to notice the thousands of other paths available. Paths you would have missed had you continued staring at the one door you wanted to force open. Life gives more to the person who doesn't collapse when plans change. Unattached people move differently. They pivot when needed. They accept reality as it is, not as they wish it to be. They know that what leaves creates space, and what arrives deserves presence, not fear. They don't see change as punishment. They see it as direction. Their flexibility becomes their strength. Their calm becomes their power. Their openness becomes their advantage. What is meant for you doesn't require you to choke it into existence. Release the need to force. Release the need to control. Release the belief that your worth depends on external outcomes. When you detach from desperation, you make room for destiny. Life flows toward the hands that are open, not the ones clenched in fear. Letting go is not about loss. It's about liberation. It's the moment you stop fighting battles that drain you and start choosing the path that strengthens you. Every truth we explored leads back to one core idea. Your power grows the second you stop gripping life with fear and begin meeting it with openness, clarity, and trust. The Stoics understood that attachment clouds judgment, blocks opportunities, and steals peace. But the person who lets go becomes lighter, sharper, and emotionally unshakable. When you release what no longer serves you, old stories, expired relationships, expectations that suffocate you, you create space for everything meant to enter. You make room for love that doesn't require begging, opportunities that align with your purpose, and clarity that only rises in a quiet mind. Peace becomes your home, not a distant hope. Strength becomes your nature, not a performance. So as you close this video, ask yourself, what am I still gripping that is gripping me back? And more importantly, who could I become if I released it? Let this be your turning point. The moment you reclaim your energy and choose the freedom that's been waiting for you. If these truths spoke to you, like this video, share your favorite part and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. And remember, everything you want begins the moment you let go.